Good evening and welcome to the IHSA Regional Semifinals from Notre Dame College Prep. From Grayslake North, it's the Knights, and from Mundelein, it's the Carmel Corsairs. Regional action here on this beautiful Wednesday night. We welcome you in. It's Danny Berg and Andrew Dobeck taking you through tonight. You'll also be joined by Aiden Nelson a little bit later in the game. Andrew, first things first. These two teams never met each other before. They don't know a lot about each other. So there's a lot of unknowns coming into this one.
I have to agree with you. There's a lot of unknowns, but we can take a look here at the rankings coming into this game. As you can see, Grayslake North is seated at number 10, and Carmel is the 5th seed coming into this game.
Yeah, and if you look also to Niles Notre Dame advancing with a blowout win over Sen just a few moments ago. Now here we are coming into this one with the Corsairs very heavily favored, and we're going to take a look at that in just a minute. But as we look at some of the other action going on, we don't have any scores yet to report. If we find some scores throughout the night, we will provide those to you. But the big ones that kind of stick out that we didn't have a score yet for is St. Viator and Vernon Hills. But another one too that kind of piques your interest is Amazon and Peyton. Two pretty good games here tonight.
I agree with you, but in my opinion, the Viator-Vernon Hills game sticks out the most to me, just because I've seen both teams play, and obviously Viator being a big name in the conference that you're aware of, along with Vernon Hills as well. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup, to say the least.
So now if we look at these two teams against common opponents, Carmel going 7-0 against these teams, and Grayslake North going 4-5, which isn't too bad. But if you look at some of the schools that are on here, I mean, take it with a grain of salt. St. Viator for both sides. St. Viator is always a really good team. Carmel beat them twice, and Grayslake North lost to them by 19, which is not exactly the greatest look. Another one, too, that stands out is Lakes. Lakes has been better this year than they have been in the past. Grayslake North dropped to them twice, and Carmel beat them by 16. And then you look up and down, I mean, it's not too bad. Then you look at the scoring averages, too. Carmel is heavily favored in that as you look across the board, nearly averaging 15 points a quarter and nearly 62 points a game. On the other end of the spectrum, Grayslake North, that very glaring 9.3 in the third quarter. And then you look at Carmel with 15.7, they're going to have their hands full.
Yeah, I think the third quarter is going to get the most intense here with a difference of approximately 6 points average per quarter. Things will get very interesting, I think, especially in the third quarter.
So now if you look at some of the recent games that these two teams have had, Carmel going 4-0, that's no surprise. They've been dominating all year. Probably the most scary game that they had was in the ESCC tournament. They were down to Nazareth for much of the game, but then came back late. And then as we look on the other side, not the greatest track record so far for Grayslake North. They lost to Vernon Hills by 21. They barely lost to Grant by 5. But the one that sticks out to me most, Andrew, is that game against Antioch where they lost by 5. Why is it notable? Antioch is seated lower than Grayslake North in this sectional. Says something to you. They're very hot and cold.
I agree with you. So Antioch, even though they've been seated lower, they played better that night against Grayslake North, and Grayslake North unfortunately fell to Antioch on that game. So as you're looking up and down, Carmel definitely has a little bit of an advantage based off the previous 4 games coming into this game.
And they definitely have the momentum coming in too. Now, granted, the type of competition that the two teams have been playing have been on complete different ends of the spectrum, but Carmel's going into this game winning their last 4, and Grayslake North is coming in struggling. So you would have to think they have some of that momentum on their hands. Now, if you take a look at some of just the season recap for both teams here, Carmel coming in 21-10, a fantastic season for the Corsairs this year. But the thing that sticks out most this year is that points scored in that second row. Almost 2,000 points scored this year. They had 96 against Schurz. They had multiple times where they scored over 80 points. This is a very, very good team led by Asher Jackson and Bryce Moore.
Yeah, the offense has been very strong on the Corsairs this year. We've got to watch them play here 3 times this season, twice against the Dons, and another occasion they were here as well. So I want to ask you this. Do you feel that that's going to affect Carmel in a good way or bad way, having played here 3 times this season?
I think now that it's the 3rd time that the Corsairs are playing here, more particularly because they don't have to deal with Notre Dame tonight, they're heavily favored to win this game. They come in here with swagger. They've won their last couple games. They came in riding high out of the conference tournament. Even though they won consolation championship, they still won their last 2 games and then came out winning 2 more non-conference games. Now here they are tonight. They're playing in a court that they've had trouble with this year, but they're playing a team that they haven't had to play before, and it's a neutral site setting. You don't have to deal with that raucous student section that Notre Dame always brings out. This is a chance for them to reset, try and make this place feel a little more comfortable to them after having so many problems here the last 2 times, and go into a regional championship game where you're going to have to play Notre Dame again in front of a crazy atmosphere and maybe have a little bit better of a grasp on this place as a whole. This place, for the most part tonight, is probably going to be on Carmel's side. However, I've seen a lot of Grayslake North fans here tonight.
I do agree with you. I think that the outcomes that we talked about, it's a strong possibility tonight. So only time will tell with the rest of this game.
One of the other things, too, for Grayslake North, they're going to need a lot of production out of their top 3 guys, and those guys are Joseph Valeria, Dominic Jankowski, and Jacob Donahue. These guys need to absolutely ball out tonight if they want to have really any chance of competing with Carmel. Carmel has just been a steamroller all year. Bryce Moore, Asher Jackson, James Dwyer. You just can keep going on and on with these guys, and even some of their bench players like Luke Nawak, Josh Stewart, AJ Ajaga, Caleb Jackson even, too. These guys are stacked, and they have a great chance to potentially come out and win this regional championship and move on to sectionals. They got to take care of business here first tonight.
Yes, I agree with you. I think tonight's game, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of offensive action going on in this game tonight. But I think the defense is going to be just as important tonight. But like you said, all those key players, especially on offense, it's going to be critical if either team wants to win here tonight.
Undoubtedly, these teams are going to have to score points. More importantly for Grayslake North, and I think the biggest question, how do they contain the top 2 scorers in the East Suburban Catholic Conference? Can they lock down on defense? And that's what we're going to find out. We're going to send it down to public address announcer Mr. Mike Marisi. We will be back following starting lineups. All right, so we are just about ready to get underway here from Notre Dame. So, Delbeck, I'm going to ask you, what are you expecting tonight in terms of score predictions?
I'm thinking, this is going to be a good one. I'm thinking maybe 59 Carmel to 54 Grayslake.
Wow, okay. You think it's going to be a close one, don't you?
I think it's going to be somewhat close.
I think that it'll stay pretty close throughout the game, but
I do expect this to be a higher scoring game.
Agreed. Bryce Moore winning the tip, and away we go with Asher Jackson bringing the ball up the court. Here's Dwyer in the corner. We'll swing it around. Here's Jackson. We'll do some more swinging. What else is new with this Corsair offense? Jackson for three and bangs it in. This is something time and time again Asher Jackson loves to do, except it's not his primary scoring technique.
No, but if you're Carmel, you like to see shots like that go in all the time.
Absolutely. Dancing around, Donahue. Valera off to Jaden Hunt. Backs up, cross court to Valera. Takes a drive, battling Stewart, kicks out. More kicking. I like to say kicking, even though it's not soccer. Dish out, three-pointer for Hunt, and connects. We trade threes to start this one, and it's a 3-3 game.
Very interesting start to this game. Both teams putting through a three pretty early in the game. It's going to be a good game.
Jackson standing off in the wing. Here's Dwyer, fakes out. He'll kick to Moore. He goes for three, and that is in and out. And a foul call. Looks like that one's going to go up against Josh Stewart for a push. Carmel's first. And here we go again. Valera. And lost the handle, and Asher Jackson not pleased there. You can't blame him for that. I mean, lost control of it, bounced out of bounds. Live and you'll learn from that one, as Dominic Jankowski, one of the other high-flying Knights. You got to keep a lookout for tonight, number 4 in black. You also got to look out for this guy, number 3 in white. And also number 1 in white, currently with the ball. Cross-court heave. Dwyer pulls up and connects. Mid-range jumpers is what Carmel lives and dies off of, and not only that, they love to go from the free throw line, with Asher Jackson especially one of the highest fouled players in the state, and his conversion rate from the free throw line is absolutely ridiculous.
That is, and if you're Carmel, that's going to be a crucial asset to your game tonight, is whether he can make those free throws from the free throw line tonight. It's going to have a great outcome on the game.
Pull-up jumper is missed by Valera, and Jackson with the rebound, and he'll bring back up. Kicks out, Stewart for three. Skips off the back of the iron, rebounded by Valera. Here he comes on a fast break, flips it up, and the layup is down. Make it 7-5 Knights. Jackson from deep, no good. Moore saving it and did not get out of bounds. Pretty impressive there, and he did step out. That'll send it back the other way. Quite the pace so far.
I agree.
This has been pretty crazy.
And a pretty tight score to start off, too.
Hey, you'll take it if you're the Knights right now. You're coming into this game just doubted from all angles, and they've come out to start this game 7-5. Kind of speaks to the slow starts that the Corsairs have been having, particularly that game we pointed out in the pregame against Nazareth, where they were struggling to score until the very end. Can Grayslake take advantage of that? Maybe get out to a little bit of an edge here to get this game going, as we have a foul called. This one's going up against Bryce Moore. That is the second for the Corsairs. With 4:46 to go, the Knights leading 7-5. Valera, guarded heavily by Stewart, will kick out. Donahue dancing around a little bit. Here's Jankowski up at the logo. Now to Valera. Taking his time, trying to slow this pace down a little bit after a red-hot start on both sides. Lost control of it is Donahue. Here comes Bryce Moore and puts it down. One of the best players in the East Suburban Catholic Conference showed off.
Couldn't have been a more perfect layup right there. Brought it up the court perfectly and put it through.
And I think we got a foul called here. We got a whistle. Not really sure what it was for. Okay, so maybe someone. All right, I'm going to stop talking.
So no foul was called then.
Yeah, does not. As Moore, beautiful. Woo.
Carmel now leads 9-7.
Valera. Now off to Donahue. Jacob Donahue. Doing a little dancing. Back up to Valera, deep in the wing. Drives, pulls up from the free throw line. Missed. Nawalk with the rebound. Empty possessions tonight are not going to help the Knights. They need to score every chance they can get. Moore almost with a crazy 360 shot there. Nawalk will be fouled on his way up, and he'll head to the free throw line. As that foul goes up against Vito Vizzini. Like we were saying, though, Grayslake North cannot afford to have those empty possessions as we go into our TV timeout. They cannot afford to have that. You need to score every chance you get because you know that Carmel is high flying and they're going to score pretty much on every single offensive possession that they get. The pressure is on the Knights.
Yep. Like we said, Carmel has a significant lead in overall points scored this season going in, so advantage on them. Like Grayslake North has had great opportunities to score so far. They have put a few through. We'll see what the rest of this game holds.
It's going to be quite interesting to see the progression of how this goes. Can Grayslake North stay in it? They started out the game pretty hot, and now they've kind of gone down a little bit. Carmel's gotten the lead back. But we've seen it, throughout the game, at least thus far. We've only seen about 5 minutes of play. But they can hang around a little bit, but can they keep that going for all 4 quarters? And if they want to, keep this game going and try and stay in it, they're going to have to score.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
I think it's going to be very interesting, like we talked about in the pregame, seeing the average points per quarter, Carmel having the most third quarter, and Grayslake North having the lowest third quarter. That's going to play a big factor in this.
So as the game progresses, it's going to be quite interesting to see it as Nawalk will head to the line. He'll have 2 shots. Quick little nugget here for all of our casual fans. This is the first time that Notre Dame has hosted anything for basketball playoffs since 2015, back when Joe Mooney was a senior here. It's been a long time.
It has.
That's 7 years?
7 years, yeah.
I know how to do math. Nawalk not hit the second. So it goes 1 for 2 from the stripe. You can't be upset about it. Obviously, you want to go 2 for 2.
Yeah.
And that is a foul. That'll go on Nawalk. Yeah, obviously, especially as the game progresses, you've got to keep those free throw possessions 2 for 2. Rondell Carmen checked in along with AJ Ajaga as Nawalk will head off. The foul might have been on Del Carmen. I think I missed that one. Valera. Off to Donahue. Back to Valera. Little pitch and catch with the 2. James Dwyer battling Donahue. Now we'll dish off. This is Brendan Paul with the ball. And Jankowski hanging out at the top of the key. As Grayslake has started to slow things down a little bit. Kicks. And a trip. Can't have that. You cannot have that if you're the Knights.
Nope.
Here's Dwyer. Kicks out to Moore for 3. Got it. Bryce Moore. And that momentum is starting to get going as our speakers are playing some more music. They're about to go off again, I have a feeling. That's Notre Dame for you.
Yep.
Valera for 3. No good. And keep moving it. They keep moving it. Not anymore. And we'll just keep holding it. David Kaplan brought up a really good point. If any of you watched the Sierra Canyon Glenbard West game not too long ago, It's not about necessarily getting the first shot in Illinois. It's about getting the right shot. There's no shot clock, and especially for Grayslake North in this game, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world to let some clock run, get the right shot, tire out the defense, because you know that the Corsairs can score.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to score back.
Yeah. What they were doing just a few seconds ago when they slowed down and they were kind of holding on to that, if I'm the Knights, I would definitely keep up that strategy and just look for that good open shot and take it.
And that'll be a foul. So we did have a foul on the Knights. And a jog. And Moore will go up with a foul as the speakers just don't want to be quiet. Now I'm connected. Oh my! I'm connected to it. That's funny.
Oh boy.
It's gonna go off in just a second. There it is. We're having too much fun with this. This is hilarious.
Are you still connected?
No, I hit forget device. Anyway, as Bryce Moore will shoot his second, with it being a 7-point game, make it 8. Starting to pull away a little bit as they have gone on a 10-0 run with 45 seconds. Valera moving around a little bit. Finds Jankowski. Dish tipped. Caleb Jackson saved it. Still in. Here comes Asher. Missed. Saved by Paul. Fast break. Up to the bucket. And more with the rejection. Making this place feel like home. Knocks it out.
It's a very fast play that we just saw right there. If I was the Knights, I would have liked to have seen that slow down just a little bit.
Quite the sequence, that's for sure. Here comes Jackson with 10 seconds. Lost the ball on the floor. Here comes Valera. Easy layup, as that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Quite the offensive first quarter. At that, it's 15-9. Corsairs leading. Back for the second quarter with the Corsairs leading 15-9. Quite the electric first half, or first half.
First quarter.
First half, well, yeah, I was half right. Quite the electric first half so far as we start the second quarter. Started out pretty quick, then Carmel got on a 10-0 run. Grayslake slowed it down, they got a bucket, and now they got the ball to start the second quarter. Pull-up jumper rolls around, and that's going to stay here as Bryce Moore last to touch it. Tried to sell. Could not sell hard enough.
Nope.
They got it right, though. They got it right. And a whistle. As coming in now is Jaden Hunt. I saw the numbers backwards. We'll throw it across the court. Joe Valera, sorry. That one is good from 3. Donahue makes it a 3-point game.
Some good, good point there. Definitely gives the Knights a little bit of momentum here to start off the second quarter.
Keeping it close, that's for sure. And that one is stolen. Oh, he's going for it again. Donahue leaves it short, and a push for Moore. Not pleased. That's his second. So in comes Dwyer. Off comes Caleb Jackson. For our Grayslake viewers, there are 2 Jacksons. Caleb Jackson, number 10, just walked off, and Asher Jackson, who's out there right now, who just stole the ball. Here he comes. Wow, what a move. Right through traffic.
Like we talked about, this Corsairs offense, when they get rolling, they're going to score.
And they're very hard to stop. That goes in and around for Jankowski. Jackson, step back 3. Got it. Oh my. Asher Jackson has gotten hot. Look out. The Knights badly needed an answer after coming out with a big 3. They've let the Corsairs score the last 5. Pull-up jumper in and out. That one coming off the hands of Jaden Hunt. Here's Moore. Pitch and catch. Here's Dwyer. Light it up, Corsairs. 8-0 run.
Once this offense gets going, they're just going to keep on going.
Valera puts a bit of a dent into it. Cuts it to 9. But the Corsairs still moving with all of the momentum right now. Stewart will dish to Jackson. Oh, Bryce Moore was looking for an alley-oop there. Big man Nawalk to Dwyer and 1. Draws the contact on his way to the basket. Foul's going on Ryan Page. And Dwyer will have a chance for a 3-point play. Wow, quite the run that the Knights, that the Corsairs have gotten on here in the second quarter, outscoring the Knights 10-3, or 10-5, excuse me. Math is hard.
It's okay.
It's late.
I don't have my calculator.
That's what your phone's for. That misses and kept in bounds by Donahue. Ajaga tried to get that one back. Rondell Carmen also checking in with Ajaga. Stolen by Dwyer. Not a great pass there from Valera. Here's Jackson, pulls up. Misses. And it's Page that comes away with it.
If you're the Corsairs, you're liking that steal right there.
Yeah, you're liking a lot of things right now. And you're probably not liking things if you're Coach Feinsheimer, especially like that. Here's Moore. Jackson. Got it! You gotta be kidding me. First team all conference for a reason. It's an and 1 for Asher Jackson. Page is gonna head off, and in comes Jack Kirpin. 13-point lead for the Corsairs.
that offense has come to play today, that is for sure.
After a slow start, they have exploded as Jackson, who's been magnificent from the line this year, misses. 4:40 to go, and the Corsairs with a 13-point edge. Valera driving all the way in, and he has got an and one. Ajaga takes the foul, and Valera will have a chance for a three-point play. Del Carmen called for the foul.
If you're the Knights, it's this play right here that you need to take advantage of to get a few points back.
You badly need this one, and Valera cashes in. Cuts it down to 10. If you're the Knights right now, you really got to go back, dissect everything that just happened. This second quarter was just where things kind of fell apart. They let them get ahead.
Corsairs' electric defense just took off, and they couldn't really stop them.
That offense could not be stopped as Moore trying to go for the dunk.
But the ball slipped out of his hand.
This place would have exploded if that pass was on target. He was looking for that earlier, got the chance, but couldn't connect there. They might try for that again, especially if this lead continues to grow. But for now, it's Valera dealing with Del Carmen. That's left short for the 5'10" senior. Here's Moore for three. Too much. And Ajaga cannot save. Sends it back the other way. We'll have our second quarter TV timeout. We'll be back in 90 seconds.
And we are back after that brief timeout.
Too short. Whoa, nice shot there by Donahue from the free throw line. Cuts into it a little bit more, making it an 8-point game now. That's what Grayslake's got to do. They got to get those shots. They slowed the Corsairs down a little bit. They made some not great plays, especially considering the Knights have been hanging around for the most part. They've been like that annoying pest that just won't go away. But Dwyer swats the fly a little more. Makes it a 10-point game again. Under 3 minutes to go. 29-19, Corsairs on top. Jankowski will back off. Lost it. And that's going to stay here. Great effort there by Bryce Moore. We'll have some switches. Stewart, Caleb Jackson, and Nawalk will check in for Del Carmen, Asher Jackson, and Ajaga. And bringing up the ball is Jaden Hunt. Kerpen to Valera. It's had quite the game, Joe Valera tonight.
Agreed.
Takes a three and connects. Big time three from Joe Valera to make this thing a 7-point game.
That play right there was the perfect example of if you're Grayslake.
Wow, nice pass there by Jackson. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, you're good. So that play that you just saw by Grayslake North where they slowed it down and obviously Joe Valera found the good opening to shoot the three. It's plays like that if you're the Knights that you need to utilize and take advantage of, just like Valera did, to try and cut this deficit back and hopefully get back on top this game.
Jackson overshooting on the three. Cross court, Hunt getting some battle time. We'll keep on moving around. Just more movement. That's what they got to do. Get that right shot. That bounces around and can't fall.
It was a good effort there by Joe Valera. Didn't quite fall through.
He's been having quite the day.
He has.
I tell you. That is going the other way. Dwyer not able to handle it. And we will send it the other direction as Asher Jackson will come back. Cameron Bates has checked in for the Knights. As Valera is going to try and drain some clock down with a minute to go. Make sure you stick around for halftime. The Grayslake North cheer team has got a little bit of something coming up. We might see something from Carmel as well. We don't really know because we don't get told anything. What else is new around here?
Faulty speakers?
That too. I did hear we may be getting a new sound system though. As that is good from Jankowski. Cuts that lead a little more, makes it 5. Jackson. Miss. Nawak. Miss again. That's Valera. Look out. Jaden Hunt takes it down. 22 seconds. It's a 3-point game. More than likely here, Corsairs are going to hold. Jackson's going to take it. Left it short. Nobody was going for the ball. 10 seconds. Jackson in trouble. And they're just going to hold it. 4 seconds. Jackson from deep. Got it! Buzzer beater for Asher Jackson. And we're going to go into halftime with the Corsairs leading by 6. Welcome back. Time for the second half of action. Corsairs leading by 6. I gotta say, I mean,
it's been a great game to watch.
Yeah, and the Knights have been hanging around. They haven't really let the game get away. And when that deficit started to creep up a little bit, they've worked their way back in, which is great to see. As now we've got a new one joining us. It's Aiden Nelson. Hi, Aiden.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Happy to be back.
So you've been hanging out behind the scenes lately. What have you seen so far?
So far, I've seen Carmel have a sort of rough second quarter there, and Grayslake North kind of took advantage of it and got themselves back into this game.
I mean, yeah, at the start, they kind of went off and they got a huge lead on them, but the second half of the quarter just went down a little bit.
And we saw the Knights take advantage of that and put up several points towards the end of the second quarter, bringing them back to within 6 points of taking the lead here.
Yeah, for sure, and I think the Knights have also done a very good job of finding open shots and taking advantage of them. Yep. Whenever they've gone to open look, they've just taken advantage of it, shot, and it's been working out pretty well for them.
Yep.
34-26, 8-point game. Grayslake just needs points, plain and simple. And so far tonight, they've been doing a real good job of that. That 3 is off the mark. Jackson with the rebound. I think, though, most importantly, that Andrew and I referenced during the pregame is how well does Grayslake North play their defense?
Yep.
And, I mean, it's been pretty good so far. I mean, Carmel's a hard team to stop once they get on a roll. And they stopped them for a decent period of time as Stewart puts that one in to make it a 10-point game. But you can't necessarily have this if you're the Knights, especially right now. You're trying to claw your way back in.
They're just hanging on right now.
Those little points you can't let words are hard. You can't let those be given up. Reball is good.
It's plays like that if you're the Knights, you need more of to pull ahead.
Donahue hitting from 3. Jackson looking for an answer. Misses. More rebounds. Lost it. There's been a couple of those tonight for Bryce Moore, but give him credit. Using that incredible athleticism that he has, the calls may have not gone his way, but he's been showing off that tonight.
When he does get the ball in his hand and he gets the right opportunity, he takes full advantage of it and racks up quite a few points for the Corsairs, making him a very critical asset to their offense.
That and Asher Jackson, Aiden, have been pretty darn impressive tonight.
Yeah, Asher Jackson's definitely been one of the key components for this Carmel offense. You know, constantly getting to the basket, putting up points.
Speaking of putting up points, Donahue almost got himself 3 more. But here comes Bryce Moore. Missed the layup. Just went around the top of the basket there for a miss. Here's a 3, contested 3 that's missed by Hunt and Moore rebounding. Now they're going to try and slow things down a little bit, Hawaiian style, as Jackson will bring it up. 7-point lead for the Corsairs. That's missed by Moore. We'll keep fighting for it. Bryce on the reverse. Missed. Jackson, rebound, fouled, and 1.
Some great effort there by Bryce Moore, able to keep the ball near the hoop.
And Asher Jackson with the finish, man.
Asher Jackson and Bryce Moore. I don't know about you, Danny, but I feel that those 2 guys right there are the most critical in the Corsairs offense this game.
I mean, I would agree with you, but you look up and down this roster, and we've been seeing it all night. Nawak, Dwyer, Stewart, Ajaga, Del Carmen, Caleb Jackson. You can keep going. All these guys just perform so well. They all can score. As Nawak tried to get an arm up there, but Bazzini puts it in for 2, cuts it to 8.
Great court vision pass up there. Way to see your teammate. Get it up to him, let him score.
4:20 to go here in the third quarter. Moore with the behind the back, and Stewart with the layup. 41-31, Corsairs leading it. As Valera trying to get some momentum back. It's been pretty 1-for-1 lately. You get a point, I get a point, but they need some points and goose eggs to claw back in, and they've been keeping it close. And 10 points may not seem like close, but for the Knights, as that's missed for the Knights, you got to be happy with that.
They're not letting it slip for the most part, much below 10 points. For the most part, this game's been the Knights trailing by anywhere between 7 and 10 points for the most part once we got going here in the second and third quarter. But they've done a good job hanging on, and there's still a chance for them to come back.
What the pass there by Dwyer going out of bounds, as we got a foul on Stewart. It'll take us into our third quarter TV timeout. 10-point lead for Carmel. We'll be back in a minute. With 3:32 to go and a 10-point Carmel lead. The Knights looking to dig back into it. The closest they've gotten is 3 when they've been down. They were leading for a little bit in the first quarter, but since then they have been down.
Yeah,
we'll come back.
One of the more important things for, I think, the Knights to try and do here is just stay in it. You don't need to try and get the lead right now. Just stay in it. Try and get the lead in the fourth.
Valera, too much. And Jackson, the rebound, cross court. Norwalk able to get it back, and Dwyer goes around 2 guys in black. Advances it to 12. Here's Jaden Hunt. We'll dish it over. Jankowski for 2. Got it. Excuse me, that was 3. Big 3 there by Jankowski.
Going back to what you said earlier, I get a point, you get a point. Then
Quite literally, yeah. It's been quite clean too, just 1 foul for each side. Not a very high fouling game at all. At least not in this quarter, or this half. As Moore from 3. It's like a question and answer, or call and answer, telephone. Yeah, telephone game. That makes sense.
Telephone, yeah.
Sure. Bounces around. Missed. And coming up a little slow there is Vizzini. Here's Stewart. Rolls around. That goes down. Make it 14. And a timeout called by the Knights. The momentum's coming back to Carmel's side. They lead by 14 with 100 seconds to go.
And we are back with a minute 35 left to go here in the third quarter.
We'll kick out. 3 ball is off the mark for Cam Bates. Here's Moore on the reverse. Bounces around, no good. Dwyer on the rebound, throws it back up and down. Make it 16-point edge for the Corsairs. And that pull away has begun to happen here.
Knights
for
beginning
Carmel.
to fall.
Well,
A little bit.
they've been, a little bit. The defense is starting to crack a bit, and Carmel's just taking full advantage.
Yeah, Carmel's been finding good ways to get inside of the paint, just getting easy 2-point layups.
Finding those holes in the Knight defense. Wow. How about that shot from Jaden Hunt against 2 guys taller than him? Floats it up and puts it in as Jackson. Have a night, young man.
I get a point, you get a point. Quite literally.
He just keeps showing up on the stat sheet. My goodness. This is why Asher Jackson was named first team all-conference in the ESCC, is because he has nights like this. We don't know exactly how many points he has, but all we know is he's got a lot. That is missed. Del Carmen, so the low heave, that's no good. So we're going to go into the fourth quarter with the Corsairs leading by 17. With 8 minutes left to go in the game, the Corsairs leading by 17. Looks like they're well on their way to advancing to the regional championship on Friday, barring just a complete breakdown of everything. Or the Knights just getting on a run and getting back in. You never know what can happen. This is basketball. It's weird. But regardless, it's still a 17-point game. The Knights got a lot of work to do in the next 8 minutes.
They do. We've seen the Knights come close within 3 at points in the game. They have their work cut out for them, but they have shown that they can get this game pretty close and stay in it.
Look out, here's Bryce Moore with the jam!
Can't be letting that happen if you're trying to get back into this game.
No. Here's a kick out. Jankowski is hanging out around the top. Drive in, Hunt pulls up from the paint, and that's missed. And after Grayslake, you kind of got to go into a little bit of desperation mode. You can afford to foul here. You've only got 1. You've got 4 timeouts still. I mean, it's a 19-point game, sure, but I mean, you're fighting for your lives here. You lose, you're done. There's progress. Steal there by Jaden Hunt on that tip. Here's Valera and 1. What a layup, using the glass to put it down, and he'll head to the stripe for a 3-point play.
Joseph Valera really having a great game tonight for the Knights.
Standout player, that's for sure.
Yeah, Joseph Valera really just he's been the engine tonight for Grayslake North, putting up by far the most amount of points for him.
As Bryce Moore rebounds it up the court, over to Asher Jackson looking for three, and that is no good.
That's good.
Luke Nailwalk putting one through, though, for the Corsairs, making this a 19-point game. My bad.
Well, then there's that. As Jack Kirpin,
make that a 16-point game.
hanging around. They don't want to go away. They need more shots like that. Here's Nawak. He'll dish out. Stewart. Del Carmen will take a three. Look out below. Rondell Carmen coming in at just 5'8", but is playing unbelievable. Here's Moore with another throwdown. It's a charge call. Oh my goodness. That was ridiculous. Wow.
The Corsairs offense back at it again. She's electrified and just keeps on scoring.
I mean, even though it goes down, I think, did that go down? Yeah, that went down as a foul, all right, for Bryce Moore, but man, that was electric. So yeah, 99% sure that was a charge call as they added a foul to the Carmel side, and exactly what we thought. It is a charge. But still, the fact that it's gotten to this point in the first place is pretty crazy considering how it started out.
I have to agree with you.
It's just kind of that classic example of, Carmel playing tight the first half, and then they just completely break away in the second half. It's been their motto all year. It's been the way that they've played. It's been the way that they've gone 21-10 so far this year, and now here they are, 6 minutes away from facing Notre Dame again on Friday. But the Knights hope to have something to say about that. They're down 21 with 6 minutes to play. You would think that they're out of it,
but they will keep fighting to the very end.
Yes, they will. That's on Jackson, Asher Jackson. Foul number 3 for the Corsairs.
It's now 3 fouls for the Corsairs. Still pretty low foul, at least second half, even though first half was pretty low foul as well.
They've been playing real clean.
They have.
Driving the paint is good for Cameron Bates. Make it 19 with 5:30 to go. Drive in, look out, here's Stewart. And goes to the line as Bates gets called for a foul. It's the second team foul on the Knights here in the second half.
That foul might cost them near the end of the game when you're going to want to start fouling intentionally, trying to get the ball back. That might cost them.
You're right, but if they even want to start fouling intentionally as that is missed, you got to start making your shots, but more importantly, stopping Carmel on defense. They've put up 62 already. This is, from the stats we showed in the pregame, this is where they scored their most points in the entire game. So that something's got to give as the Knights want to get back into it. Ajaga checks in. Also coming in for the first time tonight is Owen Carroll. Is Jankowski bringing it up. Here's Bates. Donahue backed in a corner, and that's stolen. Ajaga, here comes Moore again. Little flip. And it is a 22-point game.
Well, my pregame prediction score was a little bit off.
A little bit. That one nails the official in the leg. So, Aiden, if you're the Corsairs right now, it's a 22-point game. You got to face Notre Dame again on Friday. What do you do to get yourselves ready for it?
I think you might leave one or two of your starters in, but I think you start to put your bench guys in, give your guys some rest, trying to get them ready for the next game. But, you know, you never know. Grayslake North could come back here in these next 4 minutes. It's still a lot of time.
Jackson may have just disproved your statement.
I think I might have to
Unbelievable.
Might have to take that one back.
Yeah. And Andrew, you know, we said it in the pregame. How is Carmel going to combat the demons that have been haunting them the last 2 times that they've been here? I'd say they did pretty well with that tonight. As a nice shot there by Valero comes up limping. They did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I have to agree. They've scored very high tonight, so I think the expectation level has been set a little bit higher for Carmel coming back to face Notre Dame on Friday, having put up such great performance tonight. Will that translate to Friday's game? We'll have to find out.
We got a jump ball call. The arrow's going to favor Carmel here. So we'll have our timeout here. Michael Matz is going to come in when we come back from the break. But I think now, Jets, it's time for a little bit of preview for Friday's game. Part 3 of Notre Dame versus Carmel. And I think this time, better than anything else, these two teams are riding high. Big victories. The Dons beat Sen by, I think it was like 40 a couple of hours ago. And now Carmel's going in with probably a 20-plus point win. So both these teams coming off absolutely dominating victories going into a regional championship. But neither team is really going to have a lot of fun scoring.
No, I think it's going to be a very defensive battle come Friday night here. Even though, like we talk about those key offensive starters, I think it's going to boil down to a lot of defensive plays on Friday night.
Yeah, it's also going to be, you know, can they play clean? Are you going to foul? You're going to give the other team more opportunities to take advantage of your mistakes. Can you play, you know, nice and smooth, not have too many errors? And I think that's also going to be a big reason that whichever team comes out on top is probably just going to play smoother.
So another thing, too, for Carmel, they're going to be playing the Dons for the 3rd time. It's hard to beat a team twice. Can they do it for why can't I think of what I wanted to say? I got my words mixed up. Can they avoid the Dons beating them a 3rd time is going to be the biggest question.
I think the atmosphere on Friday is, sorry to cut you off there, but I think the atmosphere on Friday night is going to affect things a little more, because obviously if you're looking out right now, there is no student section.
Pretty empty.
It's empty, so these teams tonight are really able to focus on their play. Friday night, this place is going to be packed.
It's going to be rocking.
Oh yeah, lots of fans from both sides just lighting this place up, so it's going to definitely affect the game a little bit.
I think another thing, too, that's going to be interesting to watch, how does Carmel translate over again? It's the 4th time that they're playing here. They're playing the Dons again for a 3rd time in this facility, 3rd time this calendar year for that matter. They played in early January and the first weekend of February in the conference tournament. Now here they are meeting in state playoffs. And more than likely, the winner is going to move on and go play St. Pat's in the sectional semifinals next week. So with that being said, as that's missed, it's going to be a huge game no matter what. But, you know, like you said, it's going to be a lot of defense as Valero will go in and put a bucket down, cuts it to 21. That is missed by Carroll. Jogging with the N1. It's going to be close the whole time. And we've seen that in the previous 2 matchups. So, you know, what else is new in that regard? But we brought up a very interesting point the last time was Mac Ross, who played fantastic in the first meeting of Notre Dame versus Carmel. Second meeting, they did not have him. The 3rd meeting, they also aren't going to have him. Carmel knows how to play the Dons without Mac Ross. They lost the 1st time. 2nd time may look a little different.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something that Dons, you know, I think they've adjusted nicely in the games that they haven't had him. But that's nothing, you know, that you can just sneeze at and say it doesn't matter that they beat us without Mac Ross. And I think it shows that ND beat Carmel with Mac, and now they don't have him. And that's definitely something that they're going to probably have to game plan around, that they know how big Mac was when they played the Carmel.
New squad out there for the Corsairs. We have Peter Stavros. We have Juan Hernandez. Owen Carroll is still out there. Michael Matz is still out there. We also got big man Tommy Lamberti up there in the paint. Also had a couple new check-ins for the Knights as well. Brandon Paul has come back in. Jordy Tejas has come in. That is missed. Matthew Nixon has also checked in as well, as Lamberti, not the greatest pass in the world, and that's going to stay with the Corsairs as that one was tipped by Valera. Checking in now for the Knights is Vito Vizzini. I'm sorry, checking out. Coming in now is Logan Perry, as these guys will get to see the floor one last time before their season comes to a close. We got a fun one, though, on Friday, that's for sure.
Definitely.
So make sure you come back for that. That's given up. Here comes Brendan Paul. Guarded heavy by Matz. 3-ball by Perry is missed. And Paul with the rebound. 1:30 to go. Paul getting tripped up all over the place. 3 is off the mark from Matthew Nixon. You know, it's always interesting to see bench versus bench, how these guys play, and it's also good to see these younger guys come in and see what they can do in a little game competition.
Yeah, it's almost like the coach is trying to get a preview of what their team's going to look like in the future playing all these young guys.
Because these young guys that you're seeing playing the second non-starting lineup sitting on the bench could be very well the starters next year for these teams.
Right, and you know, the coaches, even though it's state playoffs, the stakes are a little bit higher as the 3 trained by Jacob Marshall. The stakes are a little bit higher. Obviously, it's not so much anymore as it's a 21-point game, but you're really going to start to learn how this team meshes together in a game setting. Practice is one thing. When you're out there playing a team you don't know, that you don't practice with, it's completely different. As Paul will steal it away. It's good for the coaches to be able to see this. And, you know, a lot of times in the last game of your season, you don't have that chance because it's close. In a game like this, you do get that chance.
Yeah, especially a team that makes the playoffs, you know. You see a lot of seniors who might not see the court in their final game of the season because you want to keep the starters in there. And you want to let those guys try and win the game. But
the Carmel Corsairs come back to Niles. They exercise the demons that have haunted them the last 2 games and pick up a 71-50 win over the Grayslake North Knights, and the Corsairs advance to the next round of the state playoffs. They will meet number 3 Notre Dame on Friday night back here in Niles to battle for the regional championship. Big thanks to the